Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I'm going to break down some of Google Ads' most underrated features, but most powerful features at the same time. Now, my name's George. I'm the founder here at ClickSpring, where we're spending over $500,000 per month on Google Ads for some of the biggest e-commerce brands in the space. And today I'm going to break down some of these features for you, right? So first of all, we're going to start with a new feature. This is something super powerful that has just been introduced into Performance Max. Now, if you don't know what Performance Max is, it's Google Ads' most main primary campaign type, which essentially advertises across all of Google's different channels. So search, shopping, video, display, discovery, all of the channels that you basically browse on. And this new feature is called Performance Max Search Themes. And it's actually very exciting. So previously, when you were setting up your Performance Max campaign, you had a couple of options when it came to targeting. You would create something called a custom segment, basically a custom audience. And within this custom audience, you could add search terms. So not search themes, but search terms. You could add competitor URLs. You could add, and you still can add, your own in-market segments, so audiences and interests. You can then add as well your remarketing data, and you can also edit the demographics. Now, most of that is still the same, but search terms have been replaced with search themes, and search themes essentially act as broad match keywords used to in search campaigns, where essentially you're going to have a broad kind of serving in terms of if someone searches up something similar to your search theme, they are probably going to see your Performance Max ad. That is just the way Performance Max is. It's very broad, it's very driven by smart bidding, and Google is essentially trying to get as many new customers into your funnel as possible. Okay, now you can add up to 25 unique search themes inside of an asset group. So it's the asset group level. So you can add up to 25 search themes per asset group, which is pretty exciting. So for example, if you were a clothes retailer and you had one big Performance Max campaign with your jeans, with your t-shirts, with your hoodies, you would of course add relevant search themes to each of those for, you know, jeans, t-shirts and hoodies, right? And that is actually going to help you find the right customers, and it's actually, in our opinion, going to help get Performance Max started a little bit quicker. One of the problems people often face with Performance Max is it's pretty slow off the start. You know, sometimes you're going to see pretty poor results straight away. Sometimes it's just going to take a while to spend. However, with these search themes, we believe it's going to help steer Performance Max in the right direction, and it's going to allow you to serve very instantly and very quickly for these search terms, and of course these search themes really that are being searched up. Okay, so that it being said, they operate very similarly to broad match, as I said, but also exact match keywords will outrank them. Okay, so if you have a search campaign with the same exact match keywords as your search themes, so for example, if your search theme was hoodie, and then you have a search campaign with an exact match keyword of hoodie, that keyword is going to, and that campaign is going to rank above the Performance Max campaign. Okay, so search campaigns with exact match keywords still have priority. Okay, and these search themes will not just be on search, but across shopping, across YouTube, across display, pretty much all of the channels inside of Performance Max, which is actually really exciting because it's going to give you way more precision on YouTube and on shopping and on display. And I think that's the main difference between the old search terms and the audience signal and these search themes. These search themes are going to go across all of Performance Max, whereas the search terms, I believe, were pretty much just exclusively for the search network. All right, so next underrated feature is demand gen campaigns. Now I'm going to make a whole separate video on demand gen campaigns and what we think of them, because to be quite honest, there's been a pretty mixed reception. They've been slowly rolling out to the public ever since late August, early September, and the adoption rate has been pretty low. A lot of advertisers haven't jumped into them straight away, and I just believe that's because it needs to get a little bit better. Google needs to tweak some features and improve some things, especially in the attribution department, before a load of people jump on them, but they are pretty cool, and I want to talk about them very briefly. Now, demand gen campaigns are kind of Google's answer to Facebook and TikTok ads, right? It's Google's top of funnel campaign type, where basically your ads will show across Google's most visual feeds, such as obviously YouTube Shorts, Gmail, and Discovery. Okay, so it's very visual. It's going to be mostly targeting interests, broad interests, people who don't really know your brand, and they may not even be really aware of your product and the solution that it can provide. But once they see your ads, they're going to kind of come into your funnel. They potentially might then search up your products, and then your campaigns like Performance Max, Search and Shop, and can kind of nurture them down until they convert. That's the idea, at least. Okay. Now, there's a bunch of features in these campaigns, but one of the most interesting ones is that you can actually tailor how broad you want your audience targeting to be. So you actually have three options: broad, balanced, or narrow, and that's going to give you some level of control over how wide your targeting is with demand gen. And finally as well, you get these cool new insights called brand lift and search lift. Now, it's pretty obvious that demand gen isn't conversion focused. Now, you do have conversion bid strategies in demand gen. You have access to max conversion value and max conversions, as well as max clicks. However, I think it should be used as an awareness campaign and as a top of funnel prospecting campaign. So it's pretty cool that you have these new insights, brand lift and search lift, which is going to attempt to measure exactly that. It's going to attempt to measure how, whether people are searching up your brand more, they're more aware of your brand, or directly just searching up your products through after having seen your demand gen ads, right? Cool. Now, number 3 is the insights page in Google Ads. So this is really, really slept on, and I don't really know why. It's very, very interesting. It has a lot of really useful data. Now, the insights page is very, very prevalent inside of Performance Max campaigns. You can access them pretty much across all of your Google Ads accounts, or campaigns, sorry, but we like to use them especially in Performance Max, okay? Now, it's essentially going to show you a bunch of different insights like diagnostic insights, search trends, demand forecasts, audience insights, change history insights. It's going to show you a bunch of different things. But what we really like to use it for is conversion-focused insights. So inside of Performance Max, you'll be able to see exactly which search terms contribute to most of the conversion value. And one of the really easy things that you can do to check whether your Performance Max campaign is actually performing well, or actually at least reporting accurate data to you, is you can check whether your brand name is at the top of those search terms, those converting search terms. Because if it is, then you know that your Performance Max is mostly just based on people basically just searching up your brand, and that kind of skews the data in the Performance Max campaign. It's not going to be so accurate. So in that event, you can actually exclude your brand name from the campaign. But either way, it's still super useful to see all of these insights. Another one I like as well is audience insights. So you might actually see specific audiences that you don't even have inside of your audience signal performing, and you can actually add those into your audience signal in Performance Max, or at least in just future campaigns, you can add those in. And in this instance, you're going to have an index metric, which essentially is the multiple of basically how likely that a specific audience is to take an action. So for example, pet lovers, it's going to give you a 3x. If pet lovers are 3x as likely as a normal audience or a neutral audience to take action and actually convert through your ad, right? Now, 4th is reports, okay? So this is super cool. You can actually create custom reports, if you didn't already know, inside of Google Ads, and pretty much pull any data that you want. And this is super, super useful, because if you have a bunch of different campaigns, Performance Max, shopping, and you've got a load of different products that are in those campaigns, then it's going to be pretty tough to go through each campaign and try and find the best performing product. But what you can do instead is just pull a report and include product name by conversions, sort by high to low, and you can instantly see your best performing products across your entire account. Now, there's so many other use cases for this, like conversion rate, like conversions, like CPA. You could do it for products, you could do it for campaigns, you could do it for ads. There's endless opportunities to create really, really insightful reports. And this can help you not only with reporting potentially to your clients if you're an agency owner, but of course, if you're a brand owner or someone running your own Google Ads, you can just pull a load of this data for yourself so you know exactly which products to kind of go harder on potentially, okay? And finally, we're gonna talk about experiments. Now, this is a very underrated feature inside of Google Ads. And unfortunately, you can only really create experiments for search, display, and video ads. If they were available for Performance Max and shopping, I think we would be very, very happy with that. But nonetheless, they're still very useful in that regard, especially for search. One of the most common use cases for experiments is creating those A/B tests that you hear so much about, right? You always want to be running A/B tests if you are running search, so even for branded search, but also specifically for cold search campaigns. You want to be A/B testing different combinations of headlines and ad copy to see what performs best, and you can easily do this with experiments by creating a search headline experiment, but you can also create custom experiments in search, display, or video ads, and this is useful for testing things like bid strategies, location targeting, pretty much anything that you want inside of the campaigns. So yeah, it's very, very useful, and I recommend that you use them. Now, that is everything for this video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please hit like below, subscribe for more super valuable Google and YouTube ads content. And if you're an e-commerce brand owner and you're interested in how we can help you scale your Google and YouTube ads campaigns, there is a link in the description. Go ahead and click on that, and it'll tell you a little bit more about how we can potentially help you guys out. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.